Good morning.
Good morning.
So glad to be here. All right, the heart of healing or holing. Oops, I haven't advanced the slide. There we go. The heart of healing or holing. So we're at the end of the month, the end of our month of love, where each week we've gotten to the heart of the matter, or should I say, the heart of a variety of matters. We've connected our hearts with divine love. We've gotten to the heart of our dreams, and we have realigned our hearts with Source. It's been a rich and beautiful month, and we're going to bring it to a close in a rich and beautiful way by experiencing, and I use the word experiencing intentionally, the heart of healing, which is really the heart of holing, or said in another way, the heart of revealing wholeness. The heart of revealing wholeness. Dr. Ernest Holmes tells us on page 212 of The Science of Mind, healing is not creating a perfect idea or a perfect body. It is revealing an idea which is already perfect. So to begin the experience part of today, I ask you, is there something in your life where you would like wholeness? That which is already perfect to be revealed. Something in your life. My intention for you today is mainly to focus on our physical health, our physical bodies, but perhaps there's something in the body of your affairs, and that's okay too. Whatever it might be today, right now in this moment, let us set the collective intention to reveal wholeness in that area. Everybody okay with that? Shall we do that? All right. So if you'll say, if you're up for that, and you'll just say with me, I set the intention to reveal.
I set the intention to reveal
Wholeness in my body.
wholeness in my body
And in the body of my affairs today.
and in the body of my affairs today.
I set the intention to reveal wholeness in my body and in the body of my affairs. Do you know that you have done something very, very powerful by speaking these words aloud with the conviction and in the energy of community? The fact that we all did that just now together. You did speak them with conviction, right?
Yep.
Okay, good. And you did speak them in community also, didn't you?
Yep.
All right, so we're going to explore the power of conviction and the power of community, and then we're going to have an experience or two. So, power of conviction. I want to begin by offering you 4 guidelines for the process of revealing wholeness. 4 guidelines which, if followed with conviction, cannot help but lead to a wholing. Conviction meaning being convinced of their effectiveness. So number 1, this is important, look for what is working. Look for what is working. Look for and focus on what is working, what is good, and what is right. I remember reading years ago in the Guidepost magazine. Anybody remember Guidepost?
Mm-hmm.
My grandmother subscribed to Guidepost. It still exists now. It's amazing. But there's an article about a woman in the hospital who had terrible arthritis. Her body was racked in pain, and as she lay there? Laid there? Okay.
I know those two.
Oh my goodness. My grammar girl starts going off in my head. All right. So as she was there trying to sleep in her bed, right? She was in too much pain to do so. And so she started to pray. And immediately upon conclusion of her prayer, she had a thought. Is there any part of my body that does not hurt? Focus on that. So she did a body scan and realized that her little finger did not hurt. Her little pinky was totally pain-free. It was perfectly fine. And she began to focus on that. And before she knew it, she was asleep. As simple as that may seem, that act began her journey of healing or wholing as she continued to focus more and more and more and more on what did not hurt in her body. And as she focused more on what didn't hurt, more and more of her did not hurt. You may have a challenge going on in some part of your body right now, and it may be getting your attention, perhaps lots and lots and lots of attention, because we tend to focus on whatever that nagging area is in our body, don't we? But how much of your body is working perfectly, functioning exactly as it should? Begin focusing on that. Number 2, stand vigil with your thoughts. Stand guard at the portals of your soul, as Ralph Waldo Emerson said. In Health is Our Birthright, a book of case studies from many years of practice, Dr. Ellen Jensen addressed the power of our thoughts. She wrote, "The body is a magnificent creation of God. It comes equipped with an innate intelligence and powerful energy to heal itself when given the opportunity. Keeping the mind free of debilitating thoughts is necessary to access this energy and intelligence. Feelings such as guilt, worry, fear, or anger can drain us of the vital energy that is so essential for a high quality of health and life. What science has shown us is that a regular diet of negative thinking, of anger, upset, condemnation, resentment, or fear of any form is reproduced in the cells of our bodies." That's a scary thought sometimes. Ooh. In 1979, Dr. William Tiller showed, to the satisfaction of the American Medical Association, not a very easy task, that our immune system is linked to our thinking. Our immune system is linked to our thinking. He showed that when we have trends of depressive, negative, fear-based thinking, our immune system is measurably decreased, which makes our bodies susceptible to disease. Conversely, when we have trends of aliveness in our thinking, meaning thoughts that give us life, we could call those God thoughts. Thoughts that give life are God thoughts, right? When we have trends of that kind of thinking, our immune system measurably increases. Of course, we already all know that, being followers of New Thought, right? We know this, but do we always remember? Do we always embody this? Religious science founder Dr. Ernest Holmes said on page 29 of The Science of Mind, "To learn how to think is to learn how to live, because our thoughts go into a medium which is infinite in its ability to do and to be. We, by thinking, can bring into our experience whatsoever we desire, if we think correctly and become a living embodiment of our thoughts. This is not done by holding thoughts, but by knowing the truth." And what is the truth in this context? How about this? God does not have health to give. God is health. God does not have harmony to give. God is harmony. God does not have anything to do or to give us. He does not have anything to give us, waiting for us to ask for it in prayer. God is it, but awaits our acceptance of it in our hearts and in our minds. God's business is not to give us what we ask for, rather to unfold and reveal what already is through us and as us. In The Science of Mind on page 145, Holmes writes, "A realization of the presence of God is the most powerful healing agency known to the mind of man." And on 191, he writes, "We will deliver ourselves from sickness and trouble in exact proportion to our discovery of ourselves and our true relationship to the whole." Like the song says, I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. The scripture tells us, "Thou wilt keep him in perfect health, whose mind is stayed on thee." It is the greatest insurance in the world, and the only cost to you is the willingness to practice the presence. To practice the presence, which is easier when we're listening to Jeff's beautiful, beautiful music and meditation, crystal bowls and all of that, the ocean. I can't wait. Because when you're in that zone, man, there is no separation. Number 3, begin and maintain an affirmative prayer program. Who knows what affirmative prayer is? Okay, who practices affirmative prayer? In The Science of Mind, Holmes writes, "Mental or spiritual treatment should bring into actual manifestation the health and happiness which is our normal and divine heritage. Treatment should incorporate a conscious recognition that health has always been ours, abundance has always been ours, happiness and peace have always been ours. They are ours now, for they are the very essence and truth of our being." So do you have your own practitioner or prayer partner to support you in this? Do you have yes, you do. You have me. Do you need me to support you in any area of your life where you need for me to know the truth for you, to help you know the truth for you? You've got my number. Okay. See me after. Okay, so again, in The Science of Mind, it is the practitioner's business to uncover God in every man. God is not sick. God is not poor. God is not unhappy. God is never afraid. God is never confused. God is never out of his place or her place. The premise upon which all mental work is based is perfect God, perfect man, perfect being. Say that with me. Perfect God, perfect man, perfect being. First perfect God, then perfect man. There's a spiritual man who is never sick, who is never poor, never unhappy, never confused, nor afraid, who is never caught by negative thought. Browning called this the spark which a man may desecrate but never quite lose. This is what a practitioner or prayer partner uncovers for you. Number 4, act as though you were whole, perfect, and filled with divine energy. To the greatest extent that you can, move forward in your life living as if. Living as if. Live your life in the highest and best way possible. As if you are absolutely, vibrantly, energetically alive. And your subjective mind will accept this as your truth and will provide you everything to support you in this action. So again, with conviction. Number 1, look for what is working. Look for what is working in your life. Number 2, stand vigil with your thoughts. Stand vigil with your thoughts. Number 3, begin and maintain an affirmative prayer program. Have a spiritual practice that you do at the same time every single day. A little bit of meditation, a little bit of affirmative prayer, a little checking in with every part of your body that feels great, and then praising that. Number 4, act as though you were whole, perfect, and filled with divine energy. Okay, so now let's move on and explore the power of being in community. I want to take a few moments to talk about the healing, holding power of community. Did you know that companionship is as biologically important to all living creatures as food and water? In a test with tadpoles, zoologists have found that even these humble creatures are so deeply influenced by social need that that a solitary tadpole will regenerate an injured part of his body slowly. But if it's given even the dimmest sense of companionship to fellow tadpoles, its healing powers speed up almost miraculously. Wow, power of community. University of Chicago scientists have discovered that when mice are raised in contact with fellow mice, they grow faster than when they're reared on an identical diet but in isolation. An experiment with humans was done in which people were exposed to cold germs. Those who socialized and received hugs were significantly less apt to actually get the cold. Now, this is actually against what the CDC was saying for the spread of the flu. And I found that rather interesting. You know, how they're saying hugs are actually preventative. In another study, they found that in younger women, the more hugs they got, the lower their blood pressure. And a study of premenopausal women showed that those who had the most hugs had reduced heart rates. So I guess there's something to be said for this little poem. No moving parts, no batteries, no monthly payments, and no fees. Inflation-proof, non-taxable. In fact, it's quite relaxable. It can't be stolen, it won't pollute. One size fits all, do not dilute. It uses little energy, but yields results enormously. Relieves your tension and your stress, invigorates your happiness, combats depression, makes you beam, and elevates your self-esteem. Your circulation, it corrects without unpleasant side effects. It is, I think, the perfect drug. May I prescribe, my friend, the hug. So now we know that community, a very strong community, is vitally important to your vitality and health. And we are here to do that. That's one of the things we offer. So now I want us to do 3 things. First, heart math, heart coherence, meditation to bring the brain cells in your brain and in your heart in coherence with one another, which activates healing, followed by receiving a treatment, a prayer, which activates your holding, and then get a hug after the prayer, which activates your revealing. So let's join me in a meditation right now. Just a deep breath. And turn your attention to the space in your chest where your physical heart resides. Slow your breathing down. 5 counts in. And 5 counts out. For these next few moments, do your best to feel appreciation, care, compassion, and gratitude. As you breathe in and out. What are you appreciating? Where is your compassion? Where do you bring your care? Where are you grateful? And now I'm going to move into an affirmative prayer for everyone here. I know that there is one life. That life is God. That life is the life of all living beings. And that includes everyone here. Whatever appears in your life, whatever effect is there that appears to be a problem or a challenge or disease, I choose now to turn my focus to God and the realization that God is health, God is love, God is joy, and God is peace. And I am all those things because I am a divine expression of God. I am the beloved in whom Spirit is well pleased. And as I recognize this truth for myself, I know that this is a truth for each and every one here, for we are one. There is only one. In deep gratitude, I realize that this treatment is done. And together we say, and so it is. So I'd like you each, if you choose, to turn to your neighbor and tell them that I know the truth for you. And then give and receive a hug if you choose. And I'm going to come over here and
Rich's hands are the ones that are always cold. Look.
He's got a warm heart.
His hands are always warm.
and so it is.